What's up, you two? How's everyone doing this lovely, lovely, lovely day? This your boy Reg in the building. Got my homeboy Try with me. What's up, Try?
Yo,
What's goody? What's goody? All right. So just to let y'all know, I'm actually pre-recording this because I was originally supposed to have gone live earlier, but a couple of plans got delayed, and I had to rest for work. So I'm actually doing this while I'm at a job and everything like that too. If I do get it interrupted, I might have to do some slicing and editing. Hopefully, that's not the case for tonight. But without further ado, let's talk about the hip hop album that came out on this day. And all my fans are going to love this one. So on November 12th, 2013, 2023, oh, excuse me, November 12th, 1991, the late, great Tupac Shakur dropped his first album, Tupacalypse Now. This album came out on Interscope Records, which is under TNT. I've always loved this album from Tupac, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of fans, they kind of either they know of it, but they don't give it that much respect, or they're just the Death Row Records fans and they just love anything Death Row, Tupac, and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? But
man.
this was like when he was still under Digital Underground and everything like that too. And you can definitely tell with like a lot of the production. You know, Shock G, the late great Shock G, did some productions on this and Live Squad as well too. This is an album that had songs like Brenda's Got a Baby, If My Homie Calls, Trap, Soldier Story, Woods of Wisdom. You know what I'm saying? I honestly feel like this is a very great, great album in my opinion. This album to me does not get the credit it deserves. Now, is it a classic album? Personally, I don't think it's a classic album, honestly, but I do feel like it's a very great debut album. You know what I'm saying too? I feel like it's just like it's a solid representation of what's to come. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Because like he was still trying to find his sound. You can tell the influence with Digital Underground and Public Enemy all in this album. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Anything you have to say about this album though? Apocalypse Now.
I thought it was a solid debut, and he picked the right singles. Brenda's Got a Baby, one of his biggest songs in his career, and My Homies Called, one of my favorites, and Trapped. I thought it was a dope album. I agree. I don't think it gets enough love like the other albums after that. Strictly for My Niggas and Me Against the World, Allows Me. I think for whatever reason, people sometimes shit on it, but I think it was a solid debut.
Right. And also the fact too that when this album was released, you had motherfuckers like Dan Quayle who was protesting this album and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing.
Right,
And
right.
yeah, man, Pac was just on another level with this album. You know what I'm saying? So I've done a review on this album years ago.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So y'all can check that shit out. All right,
yeah.
so that was our album that's been released on this day in hip hop. Now the main event today, we're going to talk about. Well, finally, going to talk about Salt and Pepper with their first album, Hot, Cool, and Vicious. This album came out December 8th, 1986 on Next Plateau. Salt and Pepper consist of members Salt, Pepper. Well, let me say the government names. You had Salt, who was Cheryl James, and then you had Pepper, who was Sandra Denton, and then you also had Spinderella, but not the Spinderella you guys know. They actually had another Spinderella before, and everything like
Yeah.
that too. Where she got kicked out the group, I think before this album came out, because they didn't see eye to eye, which we'll get more into that when we talk about these albums.
Right.
So you're gonna hear a lot about that. This album was produced by Herbie Lufbug and Stephen Keat. It came out with singles like Push It, Tramp, My Mic Sounds Nice. Those were singles. You know what I'm saying? The remix is actually on this album and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? Which I'll get more into that in a minute. Yeah, man, Salt and Pepper, the first hip hop duo, female hip hop duo, to go have a gold and platinum album. Like they were just pretty much like their resume speaks for itself. And it's crazy how we're now just talking about Salt and Pepper on this channel. You know what I'm saying? Because I was too busy talking about other shit. You know,
Yeah,
yeah. But
yeah,
you know what? I thought I was gonna get more Salt and Pepper albums over the years. I only got one album, the Black Magic album, and everything like that too,
yeah,
which I can't wait to talk about that in 2 weeks. So you know how we always do, just talking about how we got into Salt and Pepper.
yeah. I got into them with Push It. And Push It came out, and that blew up for them, and like they were still like the only successful female rap group to ever do it. You know what I'm saying? And at the time when you had JJ Fad, they got overlooked. And for whatever reason, you didn't have too many female rap acts trying that was out there. And Salt Pepper was like they were beautiful, and then they could rap. You know what I'm saying? And they could dress. They had the swag, the drip, and all that, and they were just great. They came to my school. They came to my junior high school, but I didn't get a chance. They didn't come to my class. Like I had a cousin that was in a lower class than me, and they came to her class, and she got autographs. And this is the time when Salt with Dudley Pepper came out, and she has an autograph on poster, and I didn't get a chance to. I wish they had did come to my class to visit us, but I didn't get a chance to. I didn't even know they were coming to school, and I heard about it after class. I'm like, damn, Salt and Pepper was at my school, and I missed it. And so I remember that, and I've always been a fan of theirs from this album to Soul with Deadly Pepper. Black's Magic was one of my highly underrated album. That was always
I
one of
agree.
my favorites. I remember getting that on cassette when that came out, and Very Necessary. That was like they probably the most successful one. That was a great album, and every album they kept and they kept elevating and pushing women empowerment and independency for women. You know what I'm saying? And when the AIDS epidemic happened, and like around the same time, Magic Johnson announced his retirement because of he had caught the virus, and they were out there. They made sure that people, and especially our people in the hood, knew what how to protect themselves with sex, and let's talk about sex as a huge record, of their career, and you know, uh, is just a testament to you know, them being legends, 50 years in the game, and you know, they had personality. They spoke out about issues, and they were just leaders for women in rap. Which we don't have leaders today. We have a lot of women that they just choose to be ratchet. But Salt and Pepper was at the forefront at the time when you had Queen Latifah and you had MC Light and Moni Love. Yo Yo on the West Coast. Everybody was pushing women's rights and the right to you know independency for females, and I don't see that nowadays. I think a lot of the females now are just taking advantage of what artists of like Salt and Pepper and Latifah stood for, and um they were just great, you know what I'm saying? And then because they were cool with Herbie Lovebug, he was doing their music for them. Kid and Play, that was also his group that he was doing music for, and Kid and Play and Salt and Pepper, they both worked at the same Sears in Queens. Martin Lawrence was a friend of theirs, so they all knew each other. They were all on each other's albums. That was just great times, man. You know what I'm saying? They had like a little clique. just without a name, really. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
they were just great times, to be a hip hop head and to listen to Kid and Play, and then listen to Salt and Pepper new stuff, and you know, I don't know which one is my favorite because I always looked at them like they both are a package. I don't, Salt. There's songs that I felt like Salt lyrically was better on than, and then I felt like there's other songs that Pepper was better on, but they were a problem. Like they were definitely like Run DMC level. Like
Oh
they
yeah.
they especially like on this album. There's a couple joints on here. I'm like, yo, this definitely could give Run DMC a run for their money. And
Yeah.
so they need to be in the Hall of Fame, man. It's long overdue. They should have been inducted already. You know what I'm saying? And it's a travesty that they're not. But to be the only successful rap female group ever, I guess that's a first ballot for me. You know what I'm saying? And they got classics, and they got many hits. They could do a verses right now and beat a lot of
Exactly.
people. I never got a chance to see them live in concert. I wish I did, but they still doing it. I know Pepper, like she does a grown up hip hop reality show with her daughter, Egypt, that she had with Tretch from Naughty by Nature, and she's on that show. I saw Salt was on. I think they had a reality show like years ago. I remember seeing that, but Salt kind of like stays away from that stuff. She's like more of like a woman of God and all that, and so it's like very very different personalities too, almost like Outkast. Like they have very different personalities, but when they come together, they just work well together. You know,
Exactly.
and Spinderella is one of the best DJs ever. She needs to be respected more.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Mhm. Yeah.
All right, that's a dope story, man. To me, I got into Salt and Pepper. I think the first song I heard from them was a track. I think it was Shoot. Shoot
Okay.
was the first song I heard from them, which like again one of my all-time favorite songs they've ever done.
Yeah.
What I didn't know about that, which I might reiterate the story again, but Grand Poobah was originally supposed to have been on that song.
Oh shit. I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
but I think what had happened was he wanted the money up front or some shit like that. I gotta read the story more for because I'm gonna tell the story again when we do very necessary. It
Right.
was like a money issue. So they had this, I think like this dude, I
Mm,
want to say it was like Herbie's brother or some shit like that, who
right.
sounded just like Grand Poobah.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you really hear that song Shoot, because I always wonder to myself, who is this cat that's
Yeah, I
rapping?
didn't know. Is that the dude in the video?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Like the S to the Z and what you gonna do. And if you know Grand Poobah, he always do this like the emphasis in the words
Yes.
and everything like that too. So
Yes.
yeah, man, it's just like crazy. But
Uh,
what I like about Salt and Pepper,
mm,
I'm not gonna hold you. They're not really the most lyrical female hip hop group. Like I'm not gonna put them like the battle braggadocio of MC Light or like the
mm,
Afrocentric energy of Queen Latifah
right.
or even like the dominance of Roxanne Shante.
Right.
But one thing I always say about Salt and Pepper, they were very entertaining. They were
Yeah.
very entertaining and everything like that.
That's.
Like you mentioned, women's empowerment. Like they weren't just saying "I am woman, hear me war." They did that like in a more fun way. Like I like
Yeah.
how because like whenever I hear them, it's just always like again the party started,
Hmm.
like the fun of '80s hip hop and everything like that too.
Right.
And I feel like they got better lyrically as the albums go on, which we'll talk about that.
Right.
I've always felt like Salt was my personal favorite member. She was very dope songwriter.
Hmm.
Pepper was definitely cool too.
Yeah.
She definitely brought that braggadocio energy, that Jamaican energy, which we'll talk
Hmm.
about that too. You know what I'm saying? And of course, Spinderella, definitely a very, very, very dope DJ. I wish that Salt and Pepper would actually treat her more
Right.
right. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
that's another story for a different day. You know what I'm saying? So I have not heard the last album, so I really can't wait to hear that album and stuff like
Yeah,
that too, because I know a lot of people have their opinions on that one.
right.
But this is going to be a pretty fun review that we're going to
Hmm.
do, and put some respect on the first female rap, well, first successful female rap group, because they weren't the first female rap
Right,
group. You got to
right.
give that honor to like the Sequence, which was
Yeah.
Angie Stone's group,
Hmm.
at that time, stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? And then you had MC Sha Rock,
Right.
who Funky Four Plus One More.
Yep.
Y'all should know about them. I actually follow her on Facebook too. She's pretty dope.
Nice.
And of course, I gotta give a shout out to my homegirl Sherry Sure for the Mercedes Ladies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now that's actually among the first female hip hop groups, though.
Right.
Y'all should definitely look more into that. I did a whole thesis of this shit, so yeah, a lot of these motherfuckers I definitely keep in contact with.
Yeah.
But then Salt and Pepper, they were like the on the mainstream tip. They were really more. They broke the mold on the mainstream tip. Roxanne,
Hmm.
I know people were like, well, what about Roxanne and Shantae? Shantae was more underground. Y'all forget. Because Juice Crew was really like an underground collective, like especially when Shan. It didn't really become like more mainstream to maybe like the days of Biz Markie, Kane, and so on and so on.
Right.
But for those who don't know who Salt and Pepper are, they were a hip hop duo, coming from New York City. They consist of members Salt and Pepper, like I mentioned. They met when they were working at a Sears calling center, and like what you mentioned earlier, that was a call center where they had people like Kid and Play, artists Sundays on Them Coming 2024, Martin Lawrence, yes, that Martin Lawrence, and of course Herbie Lovebug Azor, who at the time was studying music production at the Stand Up Media Arts. And he was also dating Cheryl James, who was on Salt and everything like that too. So Herbie was pretty influenced by like what Roxanne Shante did with the Shantae's Revenge. That he pretty much wanted Salt and Pepper. Well, they were known as Salt and Pepper at the time and stuff like that, because I think they had an original name. I didn't take no notes for this review.
Hmm.
I was driving, so but I know they had an original name before Salt and Pepper. If it comes to me, oh yeah, Supernature. They were called Supernature.
Supernature. Wow.
Yeah,
That wasn't gonna fly.
nah, nah,
Mm.
nah. Because if I think about that, I think Human Nature by Michael
Right.
Jackson. I'm real with you.
Supernature. Nah.
And the way how Herbie was influenced by what Marty Marl did when he did Roxanne Shantae's Roxanne's Revenge,
Hmm.
which that was pretty much aimed at UTFO.
Wow.
Um, he pretty much wanted them to do an answer record to Dougie Fresh's song "The Show," called "The Showstopper." I'm gonna get
Hmm.
more into that when we talk about the album, just letting y'all know. And that was actually um, that was actually a big song in the New York radio in the
Yeah.
underground scene and everything like that too. So common sense told them to change their name because Supernature was not going to fly. So they changed it to Salt because they took a line from that song, and I quote, "Because we the Salt and Pepper MCs." And Herbie Lovebug, he changed their names to Salt and Pepper.
Right.
Keyword pepper, not pepper.
Right.
And again, common sense. Pepper sounds proper. Pepper has style and charisma.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna actually pause this right here, and I want to actually give a little shout out to Herbie Lovebug, because I know people are gonna be like, "Who is Herbie Lovebug?" Well, I'm gonna be real with you. He was the Puffy of his time. He was Puffy before Puffy.
Wow.
Positive and negative. Let's keep it real. Because this is the dude that was a visionary, that was like a visionary and everything like that too. Because I remember watching Kids Vlad TV interview, and he pretty much said the same thing. Like Puffy owes his career to Herbie Lovebug. He was a producer, writer, and everything like that, promoter and everything too. You know what I'm saying? And he definitely did his thing on breaking the mold for Salt and Pepper, Kid and Play, Kwame. You know what I'm saying too. So yeah, Herbie Lovebug, excuse me, he definitely was a very influential. He was very influential. We actually want to talk about his compilation album with the double review with the second album, Assault with the Deadly Pepper, for next week. So stay tuned on that one. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So back to the story. So they were pretty much working on this album right here too, Hot, Cool, and Vicious, which they recorded the majority of that album like in '85 to '86, and then in late '86 that's when they dropped this album. So this is the album cover right here. You have Salt right here in blue. You have Pepper in the red, and then the original Spinderella. That's she's in purple. The original Spinderella goes by Latoya Hanson. You know what I'm saying? Like I mentioned before, she was actually a member, but she actually got kicked out the group because of creative differences.
They can't
Um,
get along with us with Spinderella's in the group,
nah,
obviously.
nah, they can't. So the traditional Spinderella, she came to the group in the next album, which we'll talk about that in a minute. And next week, so stay tuned. So, like I said before, I don't actually have this album. Me and try.
Yeah.
Hold on, right quick. Sorry about that. I thought somebody rang the doorbell.
So
But yeah. So, like I said before, but that does not stop us from actually talking about the album.
right.
So, this album has 9 tracks, and we're gonna get started with possibly what many people consider like their signature track, "Push It." But this is actually the remix of "Push It," which I didn't even know that they actually put a remix on it. I haven't heard this album
They
in
don't.
years though.
Yeah, I don't. If this is the remix, what does the original sound like? Because I always thought this was the original.
Yeah, because from what I looked up, the original was actually released on the B side to the song "Tramp." The reason why they called it the remix was because they added like the salt, and peppers here, the
Right.
scratches, and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? Which that's a common practice, like for a lot of '80s rap songs and
Right.
everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? This was written by Herbie Lovebug. Um, I know. This was written by him and everything like that too. Very, very, very cool song. It's a very influential song when it comes to hip hop. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little burnt out by this song to keep it real with you. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? I respect it. I love it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but at the same time, it's just like it's been overused so much in
Mm-hmm.
commercials,
Mm-hmm.
movies, shows, and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, yeah, I respect it, but it's just like, okay, y'all, I get it, I get it. But this song was also nominated for Grammy's first ever Best Rap Performance Grammy Award and stuff like that too. But it lost to DJ Jazzy Jeff for the Fresh Prince with Parents Just Don't Understand. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Which they didn't televise that award.
Right.
You know what I'm saying too. So that's another thing. But yeah, this is a very, very, very dope track right here too. I love the beat. The beat definitely has a very um what's that piano brand? Like Nokia kind of feel to it and everything like that too. Like that ding 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 ding
Ding,
ding
ding,
ding
ding,
ding
ding,
ding
ding,
ding.
ding, ding,
Like
ding.
some Beverly Hills Cop kind of shit. You know what
Some
I'm saying?
video game shit. It sound like.
Yeah.
You know.
But yeah, this is a very hot track right here.
I love it. Classic record. The beat, the flow. And when you hear this, it's an '80s staple in rap. You know. If people don't know this record, then they don't know hip hop. So you gotta know this record. It's been all over. This is like their signature song at this point. You know. And they lost to Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, and they remember that year they boycotted the Grammys at a Grammy party. Everybody was there. Will talked about it on his podcast. Class of '88, and he had Salt and Pepper on there, and they talked about how he dated Pepper. And I didn't even know that. He took Pepper on a date. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was afraid of Tretch and all that, and that was surprising. I didn't know that, but I'm not surprised either. But I'm like, damn, boy, Will Smith has got around in the business. You know. Yeah,
Yeah, man. I think Pepper said she didn't date him because he was too much of a good boy
yeah. He
or
was
some
too
shit like
good. He
that
was too
too.
good. He was a goody two shoes.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, that's interesting as hell.
Yeah.
Of course, my laptop don't want to respond, of course, but it's all good. Um, Track number two we got is Beauty and the Beat. Um, this is definitely one of the more Run DMC inspired tracks, in my opinion. Just with the way how they were screaming over the vocals and the clap your hands now, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, this is definitely like a party starter kind of track and everything like that too, you know what I'm saying? So I can definitely fuck with this track from
Hmm.
a party sense. So yeah, very very cool.
Yeah, this was dope. Definitely a album banger. You know, the beat, the sample, everything about it was dope.
Yeah, definitely a very dope track right here. Um, Also to the original Spinderella, I forgot she also spat some bars too. You know what I'm saying? I never really cared whenever the Spinderella's rapped. I'm gonna be just this
Right.
one and the next one,
That
just
was
keeping it
one.
real.
The
Yeah.
next one was doing shit like very special with Big Daddy Kane. So
Oh my god.
that wasn't any better. Maybe
Shit.
that's why they kept kicking out the Spinderellas because they can't rap. You know.
Ooh, yeah. You never know. Like Jam Master Jay, man, he's an exception. He can actually
Right.
bust down and
Right.
shit. You know.
And he didn't make it a point to always rap. That wasn't his thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
All right. Track number three, Tramp remix. Again, this is another song right here that was definitely one of the earlier tracks. I never really cared for this track to be real. I always felt like this was okay. This was the cover. They used that Otis William, oh not Otis William, Otis Redding and Carter Thomas song. You know, Tramp, dun 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 dun. That
Yeah.
song
Yeah, they,
right there
they,
too. You know what I'm saying? Which that's been sampled a lot too in hip hop.
yeah.
So
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying. But yeah, I never cared for this or the remix.
Wow. I love this song. Like this is like when I hear it, I think of like the other times I watch a video music box and I saw the video for this and you just Salt and Pepper just killing it lyrically. Salt saying, I'm no stunt. On me, you can't front. I know the real deal. I know what they want. And just talking about, Grammy ass niggas that was just out for one thing from them. And I love the beat. I think the Otis Redding sample was fire. The horns on it, the bass line, classic record to me.
Definitely. Um, oh, one more thing I forgot to say about Push It. It was supposed to originally be like a go-go record,
Mm,
but Herbie he saw Two Live Crew in New Orleans and he liked the energy that they brought the crowd. So
right.
that's when he redid the song, and the rest is history and
Yeah.
everything like that. So let that be known, an East Coast artist was influenced by
Hmm.
something the South did in the
Right.
'80s and shit.
See?
So
See?
let that be
See?
known.
That's why it sounds so different even now. It don't sound like your regular rap song.
They don't. You
Mhm.
know, Willie D always like to say, "Oh, no, New York never care, never care about this."
Blame radio. That wasn't on us, yo. That was New York radio that wasn't playing them.
Oh shit, funny. Anyway, next song is called "I'll Take Your Man." You know what I'm saying? This one uses the Parliament flashlight sample. Probably one of the earliest usages of that sample. To be, this was 1986. You know what I'm saying? So that's very interesting. Um, Pretty much like a sequel to Tramp. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of funny too because in the Tramp song they get at men for fucking around with different women, but with this song they actually talk about how they're going to steal a man from somebody else. You know
Wow.
what I'm saying? Which is kind of funny though, but
Hmm.
again, I feel like that was more Herbie's writing on this one too. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, this one right here is pretty straight. You know what I'm saying? I mostly like it for how they flipped the Parliament sample, so that's pretty great.
Yeah, this was a dope beat. I'll take your man. Definitely a dope album cut. The lyrics were dope on it.
Definitely. All right. Next track is called "It's All Right." Now I know this is the reggae kind of song, but you guys should know Pepa actually has Jamaican in her.
Okay.
She actually a Jamaican descendant, so I can let this slide. But at the same time, it's a pretty solid record. It's a pretty solid record. It's not like the best thing I've heard in the world. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? So you guys should know how around this time everybody wants to experiment with reggae and dancehall, so it's not a big
Hmm.
shocker.
Right. Yeah, it was okay. It wasn't one of my favorites on here.
Right. I'm kind of grateful they didn't do this frequently. You know what I'm saying? But hey.
Well, it's crazy though. They do have. I remember when None of Your Business came out, and I remember buying the cassette single and had like different mixes. There's a rock remix done by Muggs for them. They had a
Oh wow.
dancehall. Yeah, they had a dancehall remix for None of Your Business.
Oh wow.
So and that sounded bad too. And this was what, 94? That sounded bad, even then. You know.
Definitely. Um, man, I can only imagine this shit. I can only
I think you
imagine.
would I think you would like the Muggs rock remix for None of Your Business because it sounds like a heavy metal song.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it
Yeah,
out after
it's
after this review.
that just I was like, how did Muggs do a rock remix of that for Salt and Pepper? Like, what? What?
Yeah, that was kind of weird. I was like, Mugs, Salt and Pepper. Even Mugs and Salt and Pepper alone is just like, okay.
Yeah, I was like, what? I mean, like he's done stuff for other artists, you know what I mean? But I'm like, a rock remix of Salt and Pepper, why? You know what I mean? Like None of Your Business. I guess you could say the original mix kind of sounded rock, a little edgy for them, but I prefer the original mix.
Definitely. Yeah, the original is much more better.
Yeah.
All right. All right, next joint, you know what I'm saying? Is My Chick on Your Side remix. This is actually one of my favorite tracks on this album. You know what I'm saying? Again, it's all talking about, taking a woman's man and everything like that too, you know what I'm saying? But then they discover that the boyfriends have other side chicks on the side, you know what I'm saying? So I mean I like the song mostly for that beat. The beat definitely had a knocking kind of sound to it, you know what I'm saying? So it was cool.
Yeah, definitely a dope beat for this. It reminded me of like a Kid and Play beat. Like it definitely, the drums on here was knocking.
Right, definitely. Yeah, it was definitely knocking indeed. All right. Next joint we got is I Desire. Again, another dope track that has a rock Run DMC influence. If you guys recognize that drumming, that's the same drums that NWA used for Straight Outta Compton.
Oh
That
wow.
dun 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 dun. Like
Right.
that's the same drums that they use and stuff like that too. So that's pretty interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah, this one right here was pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? I don't really have a lot of quotables from this album, to be real with you, but yeah, it was pretty dope track. Another Run DMC influence kind of ordeal. So yeah,
Yeah, I love it. Definitely, it had Run DMC vibes from this. Definitely, you could tell they were inspired by them on the mic. Just kicking rhymes back and forth, and they saying, and if you really think about it, you know what it means to be a female rapper from the heart of Queens. Just giving a shout out to Queens, man. So many legends came from there. LL, Nas, Mobb Deep, Large Pro. So it was great.
definitely. Hold that thought. Let me check on something right quick. All right. Sorry about
Yeah,
that.
sorry.
All right. So yeah, definitely a banger of a track. Next song is called The Showstopper. You know what I'm saying? Which again, that was a track that was like a diss or answer track to the show from
Hmm.
Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick. You know what I'm saying? So again, they were influenced by the whole Roxanne track, well, Roxanne's Revenge,
Hmm.
and Herbie wanted to do his own version of that. You know what I'm saying? So he called this joint like the Showstopper, and pretty much when it came to this track right here and everything like that, they used a melody from the movie Revenge of the Nerds from 1984, just for the beat and everything like that too. And Herbie actually let Marty Mall play this on his weekend rap show and
Wow.
everything like that too, which is why it became very popular and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? Because originally it was supposed to just been a school assignment Herbie was doing and
Right.
stuff like that too, but it became like a modest hit and everything. So that's
Hmm.
how they pretty much added that to repertoire, their
Right.
repertoire and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? Now the song itself. Hold on one more time.
No.
Is there another entrance? Yeah, we just walked through the door that night. We walked through the door that night. Good idea. Here. What's your last name?
Mitchell?
Got you. I think you're my last name.
Yeah, I hope so, dude.
Yeah. Hey, I'm checking in somebody. Give me 1 second.
All right. Cool.
Sorry about that.
It's all right.
Because I knew I heard something. I knew I heard something. It was somebody trying to get in the building, but that was my last check-in anyway.
Right.
Um, That wasn't too long, so I might just leave that in there. I'm not even worried about it. But yeah, the showstopper. That was supposed to be like a school assignment, so it became a modest hit. Now I'm not gonna hold you. This was a cool track right here. I do expect it, but again, a lot of these songs was definitely Herbie's vision, which I
Right.
talked about that when the review is over. But I definitely feel like it's a nice little battle rap that they were doing. So this is pretty solid.
You talking about the showstopper now?
Showstopper.
Yeah, yeah, that was a dope beat. Definitely enjoyed this joint, and it's a fan favorite for a lot of people. It was dope.
Definitely a dope track. And the last track on this album, My Mic Sounds Nice. This is actually my favorite song on this album. You know what I'm saying? This is definitely one of the more lyrical songs that they've ever done. And I feel like this is a song that definitely solidified them as just the very fun, fun duo that definitely did things their own rules. I
Yeah.
love the way how they started it off with like my mic sounds nice, check one. My mic sound nice, check two. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? My only I wish this song started off the album. I'm gonna be real with you.
Mhm.
This definitely should have started off. Push It could have been like maybe the third or fourth song, you know what I'm saying? But this is definitely like if you want like a great representation of Salt and Pepper, you know what I'm saying? This is definitely a song to listen to. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, my favorite track on this album.
Yeah, this was dope. Definitely classic record. The beat was fire. The rhymes with salt and pepper. Definitely a great way to end the album with.
Right. All right. Um so over this is actually a pretty good album. You know what I'm saying? I do like this album.
Mhm.
Re-listening to it now, I do feel like Herbie definitely had like a lot of the creative control when it came to this album and everything like that too. I mean, again, his production was very dope. Very dope production. It was very clean compared to like a lot of albums at around that time too. But I feel like the first half of the album was them do like their best Run DMC impersonation.
Mhm.
But then the second half is where like things really started gelling together, just the style. And again, we've talked about this before. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like when we talked about the Ghetto Boys album, you can tell the songs that was recorded when Scarface was known as Action, and then you can tell the songs that was he had that Scarface moniker, and everything came together. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? So if that's the case, they should just sequence the album a little bit better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like I said, if you want to have a good time, you know what I'm saying. If you want to listen to something that can reminiscent of like the earlier days in hip hop, I would definitely listen to this album. I'm gonna give this album a solid 3.7 out of 5. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh. Okay. I thought
Yeah,
it's a good debut album for them, and Herbie's production was good. You got that classic '80s rap sound, and you know um lyrically they were on point a lot of the songs. You know, Push It, Tramp, My Mic Sounds Nice, I Desire, I'll Take Your Man. I think all of those were great. I'm gonna give it a 4 mics. I think it's not my favorite from them, but I think it was a solid debut album from them.
yeah. Like I said, it was a very solid album. A
Yeah.
very, very, very solid album. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? I just wish that they would have had, which is something that they fought for.
Right.
Which again, we'll talk more about that. Creative freedom
Right.
on this record, but with them being female rappers and everything like that too, because like a lot of female rappers, let's just keep it real, a lot of them were just products of like the male industry. Like Roxanne Shante, you can definitely have, you can def tell Molly Mall was all full on her career and everything like
Yeah.
that too. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
and then even with like MC Shyrock
Hmm.
for Funky Four Plus One More, Sylvia Robinson pretty much was just like fucking spearheading the whole get go and
Right.
everything like that too. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But yeah, this is like I said. I need to get my hands on this album. I know this album is way out of print and it kind of
Yeah.
goes for a stupid amount of money.
Eric. Mhm.
Now, I know the next album, Salt with the Deadly Pepper,
Mhm.
and everything like that. I know I have a few things to say about that record, but
Right.
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till we actually talk about that record. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? But yeah. So I'm gonna drop this possibly like early Monday morning and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
Just schedule for this week. So tomorrow, well, later on today at like 11 p.m., maybe 11:15 the latest, we're gonna talk about Aretha Franklin's Hey Ho Now" album from 1973, R&B jazz album produced by Quincy Jones, which Aretha Franklin and Quincy Jones, man. I mean that should just intrigue a lot of people right there too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Um, Also, Wednesday. Hold on. I think Wednesday at 10 p.m. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
We're gonna talk about Earl. No, no, excuse me. Tyler the Creator and Alchemist's
Earl.
Forest Diet. Oh,
Earl.
damn.
Yes.
Earl Sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Earl Sweatshirt and Alchemist Voice
Mhm.
Dyer album. That's
Right.
gonna be Wednesday at 10 p.m. You know what I'm saying? So that's gonna be a very good review right there too.
Yeah.
And then Saturday is going to be the Shaba Ranks, Ami Shaba and the Patra Queen of the Pack double review. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I really can't wait to talk more about the Shaba album because that's like my favorite Shaba album of all time
Right.
and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna definitely watch the Timberland documentary sometime this week
Yeah.
and everything like that too. Because I definitely want to talk about that. I'll let you know whenever I watch it. And
Cool.
did you watch the Power finale yet? No.
Yes, I did. I watched it last night.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Tomorrow we can definitely give our thoughts on that tomorrow after the
All
Aretha
right.
review
Cool.
and everything like that too. So yeah, only one interruption during this review, not bad at all
Right.
because when I be doing shit with Lashille, I be getting interrupted like nonstop. But since it's Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
everybody is either home or just chilling right now, so I'm not even mad
Right.
about that.
Nice.
I'm gonna kill these next 6 hours, watch some movies, do some bullshit, just help me stay up. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
So
Cool.
appreciate this try as usual.
Yeah.
And everything like that too. And I will see you tomorrow. I will see y'all tomorrow.
All right.
Y'all make sure y'all
Cool.
be safe. Y'all make sure y'all watch who you sleeping with, cause niggas be abusing you and shit like that too.
Mm-hmm.
So peace. Y'all be
Peace.
safe.
All right.